Hello there YouTube, Erik McRae, Asparagus Party here. Welcome to Erik's Anime and Gaming Commentary channel. So today, or rather tonight, I'm doing an update video to cover sort of, in the interest of accountability, a video I mentioned earlier where I set out my video schedule goal for the period between November 18th to November 30th, and I've certainly fallen short and failed to meet my own goals that I set for myself, and I believe it's very wise and good for a YouTuber or content creator to be on some level accountable to the community they're providing material to, or the viewers whose demands they're meeting, so to speak. Of course, that could be toxic if you took it too far. I don't think a content creator should be a slave of their viewers, but they shouldn't necessarily be the opposite either, totally free of them and always doing whatever they want only. It's tough in life to find a balance and a good relationship for working this out, but I think I'm capable of meeting a point of a happy medium. So there are some things I want to bring up, and I'm going to just get into the goals I set first. So I did, on the video in question, put them in the description mostly. So if we go through those goal posts, one video highlighting the contributions of community members to my YouTube and Twitch projects. That was about IVX, who's also called False Doctor. I don't like saying False Doctor. It almost sounds like a bad name. It's like a joke name, I think. But yeah, I did get that video done, so we can cross that one out. 2 to 4 reaction videos on horror shorts. Which was, I was going to originally react to shorts by Alter, so we did actually complete this goal post. I did 2 horror shorts, and I did say 2 to 4, it's a range. However, there's an interesting detail here. So I actually had done about 6 horror short reactions, 3 or 4 of which were all by Alter, and it's very tough in that sense, because I've actually spoiled myself on a lot of these since I watched Corey Kenshin's videos. I saw a lot of Alter's material that was more in the jump scare horror genre, because they have a weird variety, right? Alter has some stuff that's like, it could in a sense be political, but more like moral questionings imbued in sort of an artistic way. And some of it is like 18 plus kind of horror stuff too, like with nudity and stuff like that. So it's very tough to deal with them. I have to find the horror short that really suits the kind of atmosphere of like the stuff Corey Kenshin watches to do a reaction video, and it has to ideally be the first time I've seen it. It's very hard to do a good reaction video to something you've seen before. And I had a few of these, and somehow when they were on my USB flash drive, they ended up deleted. So I actually lost them, yet still managed to make the quota in a way, but not with Alter's horror shorts, but with other ones that you can see on my channel. So that's interesting. So that did not go exactly according to plan, but the quota was met. How about this one here? Possibly not certain, 2 to 4 more comedic reaction videos, like the Corey Kenshin laugh challenges. That didn't end up happening. Sadly, that was fallen short of, but that's why I said possibly. I knew I wasn't certain if I'd get that one done or not. At least 2 to 3 more gameplay videos for Path of Exile. That happened, and I do have some commentary on this. So as you can see, I imbue that comedic side of myself into my Path of Exile videos, but I've been having trouble with Path of Exile, and there's a few things going on with it that I'm noticing. So I want to be very clear to you, my viewers, in case you've never played Path of Exile and you're curious about it and you're wondering what I have to say. It depends if you've ever played Diablo 2 a lot. If that was a big part of your life, especially like your teenage years or close to that, like it was for me, it'd probably be a fun game to get into. But for me personally, when I play Path of Exile, it's a tough place because I both really enjoy Path of Exile in terms of when I'm playing the game, I can literally zone in there And yet at the same time, it's actually hard to produce an entertaining video out of it, because that comedic side of myself has a hard time handling some of the more monotonous elements of it, like in Path of Exile. And you'd say, well, what about Diablo 2? I haven't done Diablo 2 videos on this channel. Diablo 2 is similar, but they're a little bit different. So, man, I actually want to do a video on Diablo 2 as well, like a sort of commentary on what made it so successful based on my opinions and my observations. So I shouldn't spoil too much here, but I can definitely share a bit. In terms of Path of Exile, it's a lot of mobbing, because it's one of those top-down ARPG games where, you have all these mobs that you just like dash through and slaughter, and you're just doing this constantly and constantly. And when you're doing your first video or 2 or 3, like your first 5 hours of gameplay probably or so, it's not too hard to have moments where you have these funny reactions, and even when you're reviewing your own video footage that you've recorded of it, to find ways to make it funny where it might not normally be funny, or make it entertaining. But after about that point, 5 hours in, it starts getting really repetitive. Now, I am worried that I give you the wrong idea of whether this is a good game or not. So my thought is this: probably the first portion of Path of Exile, the first acts, it's probably in general not good to try to do an entertaining, sort of gameplay video where you're trying to be like very funny and entertaining. Sorry for repeating myself. Damn it, such a bad habit. It's probably not good for that, because eventually those hours pass and it's getting old in terms of that stuff quickly. It starts becoming more of the same things. There's not what it really takes to make a video with like a lot of kind of entertainment elements like that. Is you really need some element of surprise and variety with like situations that are dangerous to your character, where you actually get killed, or getting killed feels costly. It causes you setbacks, it causes you frustrations. It's only a time like that where you can tap into that spirit where you're like, Corey Kenshin going, ah, or whatever. Like, and I'm not saying everyone has to mimic Corey Kenshin, but like in general, once that's not happening, it's difficult to make use of. And the reason you could probably get away better with something like Diablo 2, in my opinion, is the big difference I noticed between like Path of Exile and Diablo 2 is because in Diablo 2, the mobbing's kind of the same. It's a lot of packs of monsters that you destroy with 1 or 2 attacks, but the exception to this is, especially, it's not exactly the case in your early leveling in Diablo 2. Like up until level 18, you definitely don't one-shot every mob pack. It's not like when you finally learn Frozen Orb on your Sork and you blast it out and everything just is vaporized or explodes. That's not the case, but always. But one of the things that was so big in Diablo 2 was a lot of the RNG named mobs, the random generator that sort of puts together various status and buffs on the strength of the unique mob, and with it gives it weird names like Snotpus the Bloody, or Gorefiend the Pig Sticker, or just weird names like that. Every so often you get a mob like that is strong, and it's not too unpredictable. It's usually like weird things like they have an aura that reduces your resistances, and simultaneously they have a lightning enchantment or something like that, and some magical attack enchantment on their basic attacks. So like you hit it with a melee attack without paying attention, it blasts you, and like most of your HP can be gone in a moment like that. And why that was so effective in Diablo 2 is it actually combined with like the darkness. So you have that little orb of where you can see around your character, and everything else is darkness. And because if you're rushing and not paying attention, you're liable to smack the wrong RNG name mob. You have that element where you can get killed a lot more often in Diablo 2, I think, than you can in Path of Exile. You can encounter adversity, in my opinion, in Diablo 2 a lot more than you can in Path of Exile in these early acts, from what I'm seeing. And I admit, I've only gone to Act 2, but comparing Act 1 Path of Exile so far, from what I've seen, to Act 1 Diablo 2, like the catacombs, all that, it's not giving me exactly the feel I had hoped for to channel that. So I don't think I can continue sustaining videos on Path of Exile. But actually, if you were to play Path of Exile without the interest of recording a gameplay video, and just to like be strong in Path of Exile, or make it to the farther acts, or get to the areas after the acts. So, and again, I go by what I hear reported on forums and stuff like that, because or Google search out of curiosity when I encounter a problem. So for me, when it felt like Path of Exile is kind of easy, like the mobbing's going too easy, it's getting boring, I started asking questions on Google and looking for answers. And what I've been told is that the first acts are kind of easy and they're a little bit boring. And then after that, you get to something they call mapping. And this is where the end game is. This is where it gets serious, and this is where mobs get strong. And unfortunately, it's not fun to make a gameplay video to have all this boring content to finally get to the good stuff, right? So that's kind of what's going on. But for me, when I play Path of Exile, I feel like I can get sucked into the world in the same way. Like, I don't know if any of you had this happen when you're in school and you're reading certain books. Like for me, it was books like The Hobbit and I think The Hatchet and a few others. You are sort of, for me, like I'm literally visually in the novel. I'm like right there in the forest or whatever, right? That happens to me with Path of Exile easily. I kind of zone in, and I'm actually kind of enjoying being taken along for the ride. But if you're making a recording, you're just going to see me like looking like a soulless zombie. It's not obviously the most helpful for what I'm looking to produce there. So that's enough Path of Exile commentary, but it is fun to share my thoughts on it. So 2 videos featuring One Piece related content. Nailed it, man. Yes. I did the Magellan video, was the final one of the 2, and before that I did the video on the relationship of Whitebeard and Ace. So we got that goalpost done. How about this one? Some unspecified number of videos related to the game Tree of Savior, namely community highlights. This goalpost I have failed. Originally, I've wanted to do community highlights, and now, emotionally speaking, I don't want to do them because I want to do some horror video, not horror video, horror gameplay. I've got some stuff in Steam I want to show you guys that I want to check out later. But I still actually, for the sake of accountability, I really do want to get these Tree of Savior videos done. Today I was actually going to work on at least one of them today, and what happened is this whole kerfuffle with something between my internet connection, Steam, and Discord. And I'm actually going to show you a screen recording in a moment to show you what's going on. I have no idea. I literally can't get on Steam or Discord with my internet. If I tether on my mobile phone, I can, but it doesn't have the data to make it through that. I'd nuke my data because, like, in Canada, we have, like, all our phone plans are pretty limited. It's like 20 gigs or something, and you don't want to waste it on something like, you know, a bit of live streaming or a game or whatever that use it all up in a day because it's your limit for like a whole month. So unfortunately, Tree of Savior is behind, but I can describe like some of the stuff I want to do. So the thing that really makes Tree of Savior to me is the community, the people, the humans, the players. And I wanted to do a bit covering the guild leader of the first guild I joined. Not just the guild leader, some of the other guild members. When I first joined the Reverie Guild, these guys were super cool and they've helped me out a lot. And I feel like they deserve a commentary, some of them at least. I can't cover all of them, but the ones that were most memorable to me. And sort of share the backstory I gathered from them, because they had a whole history that predated me joining the game and joining the guild. And it's fun to relay these things because they don't always relate to me perfectly. Like, for example, the guild leader Azasagi, he would tell you about these stories of previous Guild War seasons where you had a major power on the server, a major power guild, and everybody sort of allied to fight them. And it's like those grand tales of like Lord of the Ring-esque battles and stuff like that. And that all happened while I was not there. And those glory days were over by the time I joined. So it's funny because like the guild at that time was trying to sort of expand and bring in new people like me. And it's tough for them because they have a lot of emotional attachment and investment in the stuff that's there, that's gone and past, that it's very hard to relate it to a new guy like me. So it's funny that the dynamic that brings when you join a guild like that. So you're always hearing these stories and they sound exciting, but I literally have no idea half the time, and I don't always remember everything I heard from Azu and the other guys, but I'll try to relay some of that. I wanted to cover, and if I tell this to my former Reverie buddies, because eventually moved on with everybody to Impetus when Reverie decided that the guild was not really shutting down, but no longer actively recruiting, and it wasn't progressing. So as we said, the next logical step for us would be to go to Impetus. So a lot of us went there. But at any rate, a lot of my Reverie friends, they kind of criticize Shanochi a little bit. Shanochi is a major content creator for Tree of Savior content on my server, and he's pretty big, about like 6,000 subscribers if I recall correctly or something. And I've interacted it with him a few times, and they don't hate him, by the way. They kind of affectionately make fun of him and stuff like that, but not everybody is keen on the builds he recommends. But for me, I don't have an issue with Shano. Actually, when I got back into Tree of Savior, the first build I tried for my cleric was something that I just copied off one of his videos, which were recommended. So he's actually helped me in way more ways than he realizes, and I really appreciate that. So I feel like he's somebody I'd want to do a video of. And then probably a third video, maybe 4 videos at most would be the most I want to do for Tree of Savior. Ideally 3, but I'd probably, to justify it and my investment of it, because I probably invested some like $700 or $800 in Tree of Savior, I bet, to make it worth it, I'd probably have to cover some of the community dynamics, of just give you a sense of what Discord is like or something like that, as another introductory video. And then finally, the fourth one would be probably some videos of PvP, like Team Battle League, and maybe I might, if I can get Narcy to be okay with it, maybe like a guild territory war too, if I block my screen out and don't have the Discord voices recorded, then maybe she'd be okay with it, just to show what that's like. And actually, I've talked with Imix and some of the other guys on my server about doing a TBL podcast, and I'm not sure I want to start a podcast dedicated to that explicitly or not, but I kind of like the idea, so I'm entertaining it. And on that matter, I'm thinking about some other things, but we'll get into there. This is another goalpost I failed in: 2 to 3 music commentary videos. Those have not happened yet, although I already know what music I want to cover. Like, I can tell you up front actually what it is. And for the sake of being relevant to the gaming commentary channel, I think one would be the battle theme for Wotan in Borderlands 3. There's a lot I see in what's going on with the music there that I really like. I'd love to do a commentary on it. And then some Sabaton music. And that's it. So, yeah, 2 to 3 music commentary videos. Did not accomplish this in time. Comedic videos weren't guaranteed any rate on the like the reaction videos to Corey Kenshin. Gosh, I'm sorry, my brain is pulling up blanks. What did I miss? I wish I could. I'll just highlight it on the screen. You know what? That'll make it a lot easier. So, yeah, for certain, some things were missed, and it sucks. And not only was it missed within the deadline I set, it was literally missed. Like, it's now the 2nd. It's past the 30th, so I'm past the deadline I set. So I obviously have not achieved the goals I wished for. Now to bring in the positive, I did produce other videos that were not part of this schedule. And that's part of it in a way. It doesn't excuse it. Like if I didn't produce all the videos talking about all the political nonsense I have to deal with, I might have attained probably not even one more goalpost, but like another video or two of the stuff in this list probably would have been done. Unfortunately, that's the type of thing where it's no helping it. You have to address those kind of things as they come up and deal with them. So that's kind of how it is. But the positive of it is, well, maybe somebody needed to hear those videos, so they got produced. So maybe some good comes out of the bad. But yeah, there's definitely been a lot of videos I've made just addressing the little community I've built here. 136 subscribers. Not many, but just a nice little community, and reach out to them and share what's going on. So I'm kind of pleased with it overall, though things have not gone perfect. So it's up to you guys in terms of, I'll probably feel really guilty if I don't get these Tree of Savior videos out soon. But on the other hand, if I could postpone it, if everyone was okay with it, I probably would postpone it a little bit, because I definitely would absolutely prefer to do the horror games. But that's not all. Let me show you the problem I've been having today. Now, this does not give me any excuse for not meeting the deadlines or the goalposts, because this just happened today. This is not something that happened yesterday and the days before. This is just something today. So I'm going to go on my Streamlabs, which I'm recording with. I often record with Wondershare Filmora, by the way. But at this time, I like to use Streamlabs when I'm doing screen shares. It's just very convenient for it. So I'm going to go to my screen here. And I want to show you what's going on. Do you see this? So let me show you my internet here. This one, let me just double check this is, okay, you guys should be able to see this. Sorry about that. Brain, come on. Okay, this is my family's internet connection, our Wi-Fi. I joined through an adapter, and as you can see, I'm on the internet. I'm connected, and as you can see, Discord just does this all day long. This one, Steam, it just, it's not happening. Let me show you another thing. Watch this. Twitter. Maybe Twitter might work. Let's see. No, same thing. But watch this. YouTube. YouTube works. Isn't that crazy? I can go on YouTube. Worst Gen forums. Works. Isn't that weird, guys? Like, have any of you experienced this? How do you reconcile this? This is what makes me scared and worried, right? Because, I also had problems with Wondershare. I don't think Wondershare is having problems anymore. And I'll tell you, by the way, what I did to get my One Piece chapter 1068 video out, because I was having problems with Wondershare. I posted about that on the Worst Gen forums, and I'll explain the reach around. Actually, I already hinted to it earlier. It has to do with mobile phones and tethering. Spoilers. There you go. That kind of just gives it all away. But earlier, when I was logging into Wondershare Filmora, that didn't even happen before long loading or anything. But what's going on? I keep accidentally deleting my shortcuts. You see this? Look. That's not normal. That is not normal at all. Usually it's logged in by default. Maybe I won't include that in the video, but I'm assuming I should be able to get to some anime website. I could watch an anime. I can do an anime commentary. I can do commentaries on the series I've already consumed and watched before. So it's not like I have nothing I can do with YouTube during this time. As long as I have access to YouTube, as long as I can record and upload a video some way, I should be able to stay productive and do something as far as the video projects and YouTube is concerned. So that is interesting. That is absolutely fantastic. So it's not like it's the end of the world, but it is a little disappointing. So let me show you what and I don't have a massive Steam library, guys. I'm not a rich guy who's bought a lot of games. Probably a lot of games I'm going to do are for free. My budget, it's not even money is tight. Like, my money, in terms of money, I have no money. Like, but let's get into this. Here we go. So this one, I've heard a lot about this horror game, so I downloaded it. This was yesterday when my broadband connection was working properly and it wasn't giving me the spinning cycle of death. So Cry of Fear. Darkwood is not new. I've played Darkwood before. I've beaten Darkwood, but I haven't done it. Like, there's multiple endings or scenarios you can go through with Darkwood. I haven't done them all, obviously. But I don't mind playing Darkwood again. I want to play Darkwood again because, guys, if you've never played this game, it's kind of a 2D-ish top-down horror game. This game here has one of the best horror intense survival sequences that happen in those little houses you try to survive the night in. This game did something amazing that I haven't experienced with other games in the way it works as you progress through the game. So I'm definitely going to do Darkwood videos at some point for sure, assuming things start working as normal again. Dead Frontier 2, it has to be installed, as you can see. I don't know about this game. I've never seen videos of it. I was looking through free horror games on Steam, and it looked like it might have some potential. I have not watched gameplay videos of it, and I don't want to spoil it. It might be garbage. It might be good. Fears to Fathom. I've never heard of this one until yesterday or played it. Same thing. Lurk in the Dark Prologue. Same thing. Ninja Kiwi Archive. That's from Zombie Assault 4. That is just a mobile game that was adapted into Steam. It's kind of garbagey for the most part. It doesn't need to. I'm not a Torchlight 2 fan, really. I tried it when I was looking for the Diablo 2 experience kind of again, and I didn't feel it was a sufficient substitute, so I'm not a big fan of it. And there's Tree of Savior. So I got all kinds of things going on. Good things, hopefully. Just hope my internet comes back and things get back to normal. So yeah, I should be able to stay producing videos. I don't have an excuse to do nothing as long as I have an internet connection. But I'm kind of disappointed with the way things have gone. You know, it's like I'm going to have to return to working my normal schedule soon. I don't have infinite time to make YouTube videos. And on my limited clock, with the clock ticking down for monetary reasons, all kind of reasons, it really, really stinks when things don't go the way you want. As well as, like, for those of you who are new to my channel, might be watching this, I was trying to upgrade my PC, and I successfully got a new hard drive at least, but I ordered all 4 8GB RAM sticks. They're all DDR2. My motherboard's DDR2, but because of some portion of it, I'm not like a super techie guy. This was not compatible with my current motherboard, and my current motherboard would have to be replaced. I don't have the funds for that right now, so it's like, man, things have gone wrong. And it's all this unexpected stuff that goes wrong, and you're worried, like, how do you explain this to your YouTube community? Because they might literally be tempted to think you're just pulling crap out of your hat and literally making stuff up. And it's literally happening, and I don't know what I did to bring all this curse on myself. But I'm moving forward with a positive attitude anyways, because I think with that, the curse turns into a blessing. But it's the funniest thing how many things have gone wrong that I could never have predicted. So that's everything that's been happening. I'm going to switch this back to... there we go. Yeah. And I'm sorry if the quality of the big bloated camera view on this with Streamlabs looks weird, because like when I record with Filmora, sometimes I think it looks better. I don't know, I'm working it out. I'm getting used to this stuff. So I'm sorry, guys. I'm amazed if any of you watched the full 40 minutes of this, but that's basically the update of this channel. For anything I failed to meet a promise or something I said I would do for you guys, I'm so terribly sorry. I'm not going to make an excuse for it. I feel like I can definitely be doing better. I'm frustrated with myself that I didn't make it. I'm all my goalposts. I'm so tempted to sink into a depression about it, because like it's not what I want to display or do. But I think by being honest about it and making a video and staying accountable to my community, not a big community, but here you go. My how many subscribers is this up to now? 136 subscribers. I'm happy to be accountable to you guys and share a little bit of my life. And oh yeah, wait, no, don't end it here. If you've gotten this far, guys, I absolutely want to do a few things. I want to do some kind of talk show. And I'm really thinking that I need input from you guys. If you're okay with it, I'd like to be able to do some interviews. And I'm happy to interview some of you if you want to be, especially all the more if you have a YouTube channel that's about something that, with the exception of YouTube channels that are all like NSFW or whatever, not safe for work, like, you know, sexual, pornographic kind of stuff. Nothing like that. But if you have a YouTube channel that's something that looks like it'd be appropriate for my channel to talk about, I'd love to do some interviews with you or maybe others, or have the chance to make like a chat room and sort of chat or something, voice chat, and get some going. Or especially if any of you want to connect with me for a gameplay video that's not overly graphically intense, because I only have 8 gigs of RAM right now until I can get better upgrades. Something you feel is within the range of what my computer can handle. I really like playing games with other people because it's usually comedic and fun moments pop up more with a greater probability than when you're on your own. And if they don't, you're probably having some like really deep and meaningful speech about like politics or philosophy or religion or something comes about that is more serious and intellectual but still valuable. So regardless, I find the best usually comes out when you're with others. That's my thought. So I definitely want to connect to you. There was one other thing I wanted to do, but I forgot it, and the ideas I had on my paper, I lost the paper in my messy desk, so I have no idea what the heck's going on. It's another thing that went wrong. So I will get back to you guys with anything that I missed in this video. That's it. So that's a full status update. You can say that is the November status update, and we're now moving into December. It's time for new things, but I'm not making the mistake again of setting a schedule. This time, no. This time I'm just going to leave you with a rough idea of what I want to get done, but I'm not going to set a schedule because it's too disappointing when you fail to live up to it. So yeah, you sort of know a bit of what to expect, and I'm glad to have something like that. Let's stay accountable. Let's stay in touch. God bless you guys. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.